Ah, yes. There we go. It's Wednesday. It is noon. It is the High Noon Hemp Show. Of course, we're in many, many places live. Facebook on the Hemptations Beach Facebook page. Also, the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel. We're also on Hemptations on Twitter or at Hemptations, if you will. Podcasting in a ton of places iHeartRadio, Google Play, Podbean, of course. Many, many places. There's no excuse not to find the show, whether it's live or on demand. I am, of course, Joe Clare. You can Google me to see what I do. I do some interesting things. He is Beach. He's the man himself, high above the Hemptations in Sharonville, Ohio, at the Hemp Quarters. Beach, how are things at Hempy HQ today?
Finally, all right. They are good. They're good as I sit high above in the hemp quarters, as you say, in Sharonville. Welcome, everyone, to the High Noon Hemp Show. I believe this is the 65th version
Indeed.
of the High Noon Hemp Show. So thank you all for checking us out live. If you're checking us out not live later, for that as well. Not too much going on in the world. Although, it is City Beat Best of time. And so, we need to get out there and get the store worked up a little bit. We are the reigning smoke store champions. So go out and vote for us in that category. We are also nominated in the green/sustainable category, which is if we placed 1, 2, or 3 in that, I would seriously feel very good about taking pride in people knowing that hemp is green and sustainable and a solution to a lot of the world's problems, the planet's problems. Whether you deny them or accept them, they are still problems. And hemp is a solution to that. And so just being nominated in the green sustainable category warms my heart. And so, get out and vote for us there. The podcast, you're going to have to write us in, I think, for the podcast, because we have to be written in so many times before. And it might be added because I did write us in. I might have been. I'm sure the first person to do that. It used to be that so many people had to write you in before they would even add you to the list. I don't know how it goes now. And so, if you'd like to see the podcast for local podcast, take a best of. Go write us in. Just write in the High Noon Hemp Show. That's all I put. They can figure out who I am or where to find me when the appropriate time comes. All you have to do is watch the High Noon Hemp Show. Hi, I'm Beach.
That's right. World famous. They should know us already. It already should be settled.
A couple other categories that I started to write in. Friend of the environment, me particularly, Beach, and I just put Beach Hemptations for that. Troublemaker. I really like that. This year, I think last year I was up there on the list of troublemakers with the whole CBD issue until SB 57 passed. I think I was stirring things up in a way that I think people were kind of looking at me as a troublemaker. So that would be awesome. Just making the list, getting enough people to write me in under troublemaker. And again, just write in Beach/Hemptations. And again, this is at citybeat.com. You can go there and vote. It's got different categories. You do have to give them an email, tell them how old you are, and give them your birthday, I think, to vote. We sure appreciate it. I guess as much as I was a troublemaker, I was a local activist last year. Sometimes I'm more active than I'm not active. And last year I was once again definitely active with everything that was going on with CBD, with hemp in Ohio, and all of those things. And so feel free, if you believe that I believe, that we all believe that I should be on the list, then go ahead. And I think we have until February 3rd, so we've got almost a whole month.
I made a note here. I'll make sure to post some stuff on Facebook and Twitter so people can find it and remember themselves.
Yeah, I'll make a little graphic. Yes. Remind people. I know that I can go and get the little City Beat tags off of their website. You can do that too. If you go to that page, they've got the little best of icons and what to be added to stuff like that. So anyway, check us out there. We're honored just to be nominated, and we sure take pride in being number one. And so trust me, I take pride in that number one, smoke store category. Even though once again we're a hemp store that sells smokables, it's awful nice to know that the second thing that I focus on is the best thing, one of the best things in Cincinnati. And so thank you for that. As it stands, again, as they say, it's always great to be nominated.
Yes.
And if you want to throw me in there in Cincinnati, yeah, it is. I'm not going to say it's not nice to win, but it is sure nice to know people know I exist. I do not get any national recognition, never have, but it's nice to know in Cincinnati that people do recognize the hard work that we've put into making the stores what they are. And we're not letting up. I'm not getting lazy. I'm taking things as seriously now as I did then, regardless of how well things are going, how many locations we have, all that yada yada yada. We still take pride in our hemp, and we still take pride in our smokables. And so that's the best stuff. Speaking of the podcast, did you get the picture?
I did.
I was going through one of my common news feeds. This is nice. Going through one of my common news feed, and came across this particular article from iHeart.com talking about cotton and hemp. But there it says, "Listen to the High Noon Hemp Show, episode." It doesn't say there, but it's the High Noon Hemp Show. Oh, episode 6, season 6, episode 4. Happy New Year.
Has an extra episode in there for some reason.
I don't know. It's interesting, but
and also if you notice at the bottom, they have. I went to look at the page, and there's like popular podcasts or whatever, and the next one has to do with like champagne and Satanism and stuff that it says there at the bottom. But if you take it all together, it kind of looks like they're describing our show. But I don't know anything about champagne or Satanism or the Stonewall Uprising or chaos theory or any of it. I'm clueless in all of it. So sorry.
I guess I should have maybe taken that out of there because I guess they're talking about in the article they're talking about multiple podcasts.
Yeah.
Ours just happened to make the title picture page or whatever. I don't know what page one. I don't know what you call that anymore when you're on the front page of something. Front page. There it is. Front page.
And by the way,
talking about the podcast.
Subject, that picture, I don't know why I picked that picture, why iHeart uses that picture for the show. I think it was like the picture that was on the episode that was the last episode when iHeart accepted the podcast. So they took that picture and they just haven't changed it for some reason. I'm not sure why. I have a lot of better pictures.
Well, it's okay with me.
Yeah,
but I like it because again, that's that particular statistic was the whole reason that that Hemptations exists, honestly. And to be honest with you, a quarter of the pesticide use is being kind to the cotton industry because it's probably more like a third. And so, it is true. And I'm glad that iHeart at least picked something that was close to my heart. How about that? They picked a picture to put up there close to my heart. So anyway, but nice to know that if you're out there on Flipboard reading hemp stuff, that's going to pop up, and that's where I found it. I use Flipboard as one of my news feeds, and that came up. And what's really interesting though is that was on my hashtag hemp feed, but it was actually said hashtag crime.
I saw that
on the picture if you look at that, and I don't know why iHeart, and I guess maybe because I don't know why iHeart would have tagged that with crime or whoever posted this.
And I'm pretty sure our category is education, but I'm not 100% sure.
And I guess maybe it's just this Dylan Elmgreen who actually reposted this or posted this or somehow. But yeah, I noticed that there's a little hashtag crime in there. So if anybody's reading about crime, they're going to learn about the High Noon Hemp Show. Good for them. Maybe they'll get educated.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
we are not criminals, but we are often deemed as
Yes.
criminals. And so it'd be nice to clarify those to the crime world. Hemp is not something bad, that's for sure. So that was kind of fun, which leads us right into the good old product spotlight, which is from the store. You know what I never did? I have not printed my script. For those of you
Oh,
out
that's a shame.
there that don't know, don't know. Of course, I have a script. What am I? Let's see if I can do this real quick. Why didn't it print? Um, so I know that the first picture, the new first product, not a new product, but it's a new flavor, and so we have the Untitled Art seltzer watered. Sparkling water, as they call it. We now have a grapefruit flavor, which they just dropped last week. So all of these should have made it to the store. The next product on the product spotlight, these guys are, again, this is another local company you've got out of Kentucky, which we're so happy we picked up their product so long ago with the Laura's chocolates. But these are the Laura's Homestead Alternative Lotion. And so again, they started a CBD line of things not too long ago, and this is the Laura's lotion, again, made, grown, made, and all those things right down in Kentucky. The next one, speaking of fiber and paper, well, they make the paper out of the fiber, kind of, is the Greenfield Paper Company, and this is actually their watercolor. My printer is off. My printer is unplugged.
Oh, there you
We're
go.
just going to wing it from here. The Greenfield Company watercolor paper. They make different mediums of paper for different types of art and whatnot. And so this is I believe the 11 by 17 size, which is, I think they may even make one size bigger than some of their papers for art, for goods and whatnot. And the last one, again, made very popular, especially when they're not fresh, are the Seven Mountain Brownies. This is a CBD product, so it has 25 milligrams of CBD in it, but it is made locally by our local bakers that we love so much, Seven Mountains. And again, we fly through those when we have fresh ones. We have fresh ones; they just came in. So get into one of the stores, get yourself a CBD fudge brownie made by Seven Mountains, and enjoy. And the last picture, 4 from the store, 1 from my door, and we got a little glimpse of these last week because I carry a couple pairs of these around with me all the time. And that is my sunglass collection, my hemp sunglasses collection. Now, the very top pair was the very first pair that they made, I believe, was the very first style, maybe the second. I'm not sure. It was really close to the originals. I know that. Unfortunately, I believe the dog sat on them, so they're a little janky. But now they have, their styles are very chic, or very, more of a popular, because I think they kind of dumbed it down a little bit. Like the top pair is kind of an exotic kind of shape for glasses, but now you can see they've really over the years tweaked. I think the frames themselves, how they process them, because they're a little bit smoother. The first pair was kind of rough, like a first original would be, but now they're kind of getting smooth. And my understanding is you can have your prescription put in these. You just have to tell your optician that it's for a wood frame. And so I ran into a gentleman at the Hemp Farm Summit in Ohio who had a pair of prescription. He had his prescription put in a frame instead of framing these. So I'm gonna try to do that eventually with one of these sets, because that would be awesome, just to be able to have my glasses be hemp frames, as they should be hemp
Indeed.
frames as well. So there you have it. 4 from the store, 1 from my door. Now on to
The best.
this
Simply
is
the
the whole
best
reason why we
thing.
should win the local podcast. Maybe.
That's right. By the way, if we win the best podcast in Cincinnati, I'll do something crazy on the air. I don't know. I'll shave my head or dye my hair or something in true internet fashion in celebration. By the way, Matthew checking in the chat room said, "Howdy guys, Hump Day." Thank you, Matthew. John also joining us. Unknown on YouTube said, "How much for the top?" I think they were talking about the top pair of sunglasses. I guess that's what they were referring to. I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
think you can buy those anymore. They are a European company. Now they still make the. You can go to their website, and I think I would just Google hemp sunglasses. I'm sure they're going to be the ones that pop up. I can't believe I can't. I don't know if they even have like a company name, to be honest with you. But you can. They may still have some of the original frames on their website. Those particular frames are now part of the Hemptations Museum, so to speak. So
I should be able to come see them one day.
we don't
When the
sell
museum
those in the
opens.
stores. That is my personal collections. Those are from my door. If you're kind of confused, because we don't sell the sunglasses, that's just my personal collection. We do 4 from the store, 4 products for, and then I share my own personal hemp products from my door. But they
I'm
are
sure.
currently selling online, so you can go online and check out what's available from them. And I know that the bottom styles should be available, but I don't think they make that original top style anymore.
Yeah. So if you
All
go on an
right,
internet search, if you want it bad enough, you'll find it. Which brings us
you will.
nice segue from the sunglasses to the rest of the ensemble. A lot of people are sitting there waiting, saying, I got to get dressed. I got to get going. I don't know what to wear. I don't know how to look." Well, that's why you're here. We ask the most important question
It's true.
of the day, and it's the most important answer. You're here all day. It's the beachwear segment where we ask, "What are you wearing beach?"
That's right. If you woke up this morning, you're still getting ready. Yourself, what are you wearing, Beach? Well, let me tell you this: if you like black, to
There
wear
you go.
black, and I know plenty of you do. Today, I am wearing all black in celebration for those people out there that love to wear black. It all kind of started with the hat, because this is actually an Armani jeans hat, and so this was a part of the Armani jeans hemp line that they make or made years ago. So I started piecing this outfit together, and of course the Ono Green Springs technology shirt just works well with the hat. RIP, I should say SIP, Mark. Um, we've got the hemp hoodlam pea coat. Keeps me nice and warm on these cold days because it is cold out here. The Hemptopia briefs, the Hempus pants. And these are kind of new to me, which I kind of like. They're just kind of a casual black pant. You can, if you look closely, you will see my Green Spring Technology pen, which I carry with me almost all the time wherever I go. Got the Satori socks, and bringing it all together with the Adidas Sambas. And so, if you were asking yourself today, what are you wearing, Beach? Now you know it was all black. I am not in mourning. I am just celebrating those people that I know love to wear black. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a color that's very popular in the world.
Yes, it
Look
is.
around. You will see a lot of people that prefer to wear black all day long. And when it comes to hemp, there you go. You can wear black from head to toe any day that you wish to.
Absolutely. Amy joining us in the Facebook chat room. By the way, I'm watching both Facebook and YouTube. We look crystal clear on YouTube and great, and we look like absolute fuzzy garbage on Facebook. I'm not sure why that is. So if we look like crap on Facebook, go find the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel because it looks great. So I know it's not my computer. It's a Facebook issue, as it usually is.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, maybe that was Dave's big issue back in the day. He said we didn't look that clear. Maybe it's just the fact that Facebook
It
it
looks
slows it.
horrible.
It doesn't.
It's like a
That's
blind
interesting.
person
YouTube,
trying to
it's
watch something. There's
jeez.
shapes moving on the screen, but YouTube looks great. So it looks like YouTube looks like HD. So I have no idea.
Interesting. Well, there you have it, folks. Switch over to the Jedi Hemp channel. We are live there
Sorry,
as
you'll see
well.
this.
Maybe I wish I could go to a commercial break so you could switch over, but
Just
uh,
pull up another
but
tab or
we'll
open the other app or whatever.
yeah,
You can do it.
we'll start promoting the YouTube live, apparently, because that's much clearer. But if if you're listening on the podcast, then picture the Facebook, because it's all blurry and it doesn't matter. Uh,
Probably all looks better in your imagination anyway if
so
you're listening to the podcast.
that's right. That's right. Crystal clear in your mind, as we say. No one's ever said that before. Not much news this week, honestly. We got some news. We got quite a bit of events to finish out January, but not a whole lot of news. I do want to remind everybody out there that the USDA is now taking comments still for their hemp program until the end of January, I believe. I don't think anything's going to change because states are already submitting their programs and getting approved. And so I don't know why they're even taking it's almost like why are they still taking comments when they're approving states? So what are they going to change? I don't know. But if you want to get your comments in there again, I think the major comments should be we need to bring up the THC level. And I've often said, knowing that they're not going to change anything, give them the changes that you want, knowing that they're not going to change them right now. But if we start giving them the changes that we want now, then hopefully in the future, those will be, ringing in their ears when they're thinking about these things. And so, knowing that I'm pretty sure they're not going to change anything doesn't mean that we shouldn't let them know what we really want this program to be, which is really regulated like corn or soybean or whatever the favorite crop is in the state that you live in that a lot of people grow and don't have to be regulated and licensed and checked on by the police and the DEA and the blah, 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 blah. That's the other big thing is getting the DEA out of this. Man, why does they absolutely need zero involvement in the industrial hemp now. They just don't need any involvement. Somebody starts to grow marijuana somewhere, then the DEA can get involved because that's their job if it's illegal. But when it comes to industrial hemp, they just need to stay out of it. And if they think someone's growing something that's illegal, then they can get involved just like they would anywhere else, whether they were, And so it's just that's the big thing. The two big things for me, I think, is, a higher percentage of THC allowable, and to get the DEA and law enforcement just out of it, just get them out of it. If you get out of it, then it won't feel like you're a criminal growing it, no matter what state you're in or how you're doing it. And so, that's the way to get more people to do this and to farm this on a regular basis, to farm it for the fiber, to farm it for the grain. And everybody's going to go through the hoops for the CBD because they can make the money out of it. So they don't care as much. And again, it's just big money making more big money when it comes to CBD now, because they're the only ones that can go in because of these regulations and these state laws. And so, when it's as free to grow as whatever the popularist agricultural plant is in your state, then anybody, the average farmer will get into it. We are seeing a lot of young people into industrial hemp now, and farming in particular because of it, which is great. But we really just need to open it up to everyone to make it as easy as possible. And we're almost there. We're almost there. The next farm bill, and again, that's 4 years off at any given point. I'm sure of it. And so, the next farm bill should hopefully change things a lot. Or there may be some other legislative act that changes things to the way it's done. Or they could just take cannabis off the controlled substance list, and then you just move along, and everybody can use it for whatever they want to use it for, and yippee-yi-yay, which would end a lot of issues. And that's coming soon, hopefully. So let's stay on that too, because that's huge for the industrial hemp movement, just as big as it is for anything else. Regardless of how you feel about personal use, medicinal use. Um, if cannabis is taken off the controlled substance list, even though industrial hemp is already taken off the controlled substance list, it still makes it a lot easier for all of us all over the country to get involved with industrial hemp, in my opinion. And the banking issue was solved, and so we have the industrial hemp does have a banking caveat federally, and that again doesn't mean banks have to deal with us, but it does mean that they can deal with us and feel good about it. When I say us, I mean any CBD company, any industrial hemp business. Even hemp scares them off. And back in the day, I had somebody tell me when they dropped me in the banking business that we had hemp in our name. And that's when I asked him, "Do you know what hemp is?" And he said yes, and he didn't. When I asked him again, tell me what hemp was. And so don't think that hemp stigma is still out there with the uneducated who don't understand the difference of why hemp is hemp, why, and I do marijuana asterisk because we all know that was a made up word to make cannabis illegal back in 1937. It should just be called cannabis. And now what I will accept is the fact that we should now, okay, by definition, call it marijuana for the medicinal, if they want to do that. If they want to continue to use the word marijuana, which they couldn't decide on how to spell, by the way. It was originally with an H, and now it's with a J in the federal government. Fact of the matter is, if you want to use that, then okay, let's just define that word as talking specifically about medical, and then go on to, whatever. Anyway, because it's cannabis. It's either cannabis sativa or cannabis indica. It's one of the two. Sometimes it's a little of both. Sometimes it's whatever. Now, when growing for industrial hemp, it's always sativa. I tell you, it will be an interesting day. And again, sativas are just more prime to, I suppose, take the THC out, and the sativa has always been used specifically for the industrial purposes. It grows taller, and so that's why you want to grow it for the fiber. Seed production, it's hard to say. I suppose that if you had an indica that produced a high amount of seeds, then that would be great. But I think it might be harder to bring the THC out of indica. I don't know how that science works, but right now, as far as I know, all industrial hemp comes from a cultivar of the sativa side of cannabis. And that's, that, which is interesting, because if you know anything about the sativa, what the difference between the sativa and the indica in the personal use or the medicinal aspect is normally the sativa is more of a bring me up. So if you're growing sativa for CBD, again, it's more of a bring me up, whereas the indica is more of a kind of bring you down, mellow you out aspect. And so with seeing more flower coming to market with the CBD, it's going to be interesting who's going to break an indica, because and maybe there is, I might be wrong, but I don't know of anyone that's bred CBD out of an indica yet. But I could be wrong there too, because when it comes to cannabis, it is the most genetically modified plant ever in the history of mankind. I'm going to say that right now. Because there's probably, I would venture to say there could be 1,000 different cultivars, or what they may call strains, and 200, 250 of those are industrial hemp. So, the other 750 worldwide would be your personal use, your medicinal, however you want to say that, and so it's just amazing the range that this plant has from one end to the other when it comes to utility, so to speak. So anyway, here's some events, and we'll get you guys on with your day coming up soon. January 10th through the 11th, you've got the Midwest Hemp Expo in Lansing, Michigan. January 16th, you've got the Colorado Winter Hemp Summit in Boulder. Again, if you go to the Hemptations.com website, the first page has events that we are that we participate in, the store or myself. The second page has the event I talk about on the Hemp Show here, so you can go back and kind of be reminded as to what's going on. I try to update that within a day or two of the show when I can. January 18th and 19th, you've got the Hemp World Expo in Atlanta, Georgia. January 23rd to the 26th, contractors. This is for building. You've got the Hemp Texture training program in Ketchum, Idaho, which is absolutely a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place in this world of ours. I have been to Ketchum, Idaho, and so I can attest for its beauty. If you want to go learn how to build and work with industrial hemp, then that is a good route for sure. January 24th, you've got Growing Hemp in Ohio. This is separating fact from fiction. This is in Wooster, Ohio. And so, this is just announced just recently, and so it's kind of interesting. I don't know anything about really what's going on, but that's January 24th. I'll try to get some more information on that in little old Wooster, Ohio. January 27th through the 28th, you've got the Hemp Summit in Chicago. That's probably going to be pretty big this year just because Illinois just went positive freedom, I'll call it, just this year. And so you got the Hemp Summit in Chicago. And then January 28th through the 30th, you have the Texas Hemp Convention. And I know there was just a big bust in Texas. So hemp is getting, and they just made it. I think Texas just legalized maybe last year for growing, possibly. But it is getting getting big because everything's bigger in Texas, as they say. And I don't disagree. I've been to Texas. Like everything's bigger. They just have so much space. Houston seems to go on for days when you're driving through it, and so it's not even populated; it's just so spread out. Anyway, there you go, folks. That's the news. Those are the events. This is the High Noon Hemp Show. We are a podcast. We are live every Wednesday. We recommend, obviously, live at the Jedi Hemp channel. On YouTube. That, so go.
Cleese 2 said way better on the YouTube channel because Facebook just looks horrible. I don't know why. It's not, not that great a video. At least not as good as YouTube.
Yeah, so maybe next week I'll watch it on the YouTube channel just to see what happens. I don't have any questions. I haven't gotten any questions. I hope I've answered your questions for this week. Again, you can go to Hemptations.com, check out stuff there. Email me any questions that you have throughout the week if you'd like to have me try to answer them on the show. Get out there and vote for us in the City Beat Best Of if you feel like we are the best of in any particular category that we may be the best of. I don't want to say do it just because I told you so. Do it because you feel like it's true.
Yes, do it because you want to.
I don't want it to feel like a popularity contest. That's for sure. But I know last year I did no marketing, zero marketing, and I think we won the one category at least, and still continue to be nominated or on the list of the others. So, anyway, thanks again, everybody, for watching. And if you were listening, thank you very much. We are all done for this week on the High Noon Hemp. Remember, reduce, reuse, recycle. Make everything else out of hemp. Happy Hemptations.
See y'all next week.